Hey Barb, I thought I'd do a combat video for you. Um, Before we begin, before we take it out into the field, I wanted to show you how to roll because you had expressed interest in doing this. So this is the left bumper, the B button, and just the directional stick. And I'm running, and then I'm pressing the left bumper and the B button together. So I'm running, press those two buttons together, and you dodge. Running, left bumper B button together, and you dodge. And it's a little awkward because those are you're using your left pointer finger and your right thumb and your left thumb, and it's just a little get used to. But that's how you do it. So I'm going to show you a couple things. One is just how to use movement to your advantage when you're facing off against enemies um, to help manage your stamina. One is how to jump, uh, how to jump strategically, not just spam your button, but but jump intentionally and strategically to avoid attacks, and how to parry. And parrying and blocking, those are crucial to combat in the game. Especially on controllers, we don't dodge very easily, so blocking and parrying are essentially how we mitigate damage. Uh, so I'm going to jump right into it. I'm gonna go into the biome in which I am currently in the game, which you've never seen before. This is called the Mistlands, and you'll see why when we get in there. And we're going to be hunting seekers and seeker soldiers, and these are basically just giant bugs. And I've got my Mistlands armor and my Mistlands weapons here, the Carapace buckler and the Mistwalker sword. And then I've got the armor that comes with this biome. It's really high level, and hopefully it'll keep us alive. If it doesn't, I've got my special power that I got from killing the fourth biome boss. No, third biome boss. Damn it, I can't remember. It doesn't matter. It gives me some, it's called bone mass, and I can activate this power once every 15 minutes, and it gives me pretty extensive damage reduction. So just, I take less damage when enemies hit me. Okay, let's jump in. Welcome to the Mistlands. The Mistlands is by far the most challenging of the biomes that I've experienced. Now, the final biome is the Ashlands, and this is it is notoriously difficult. This is not quite as difficult, but it's still challenging. It's vertical. There's a lot of jumping, and this is where the feather cape comes in handy because it mitigates falling damage. Okay, so let's go down here. You can see earlier I planted a little garden of mushrooms. These are essential to all of the high-level foods that I'm using currently. So I planted about 300 of them, and I'll reap about 900. I get 3 for every one. I got my little dwarf buddies here. They're keeping a watch out, guarding the, uh, the garden here. All right, let's go hunting. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a guy down there. You can see him. You can see him in the mists. And that looks like a soldier. That looks like a seer soldier, and they're pretty intense. Uh, but we can take him, unless he's got 1 star, and then it might get a little iffy. Let's go down here. Let's go down here and see if he wants to play. These guys are pretty intense. So he has several attacks. His first attack is to do this, and his second attack is to... Ooh, sorry, there it is. He stomps his feet twice and does a considerable amount of damage. So every enemy has an attack animation. That's one of his attack animations, when he does the little headbutt. He kind of rears back before he attacks. And what happens is, I can judge that, I can block it, and then I can do some good damage. Now at this point, it's hard for him to turn around, so I just kind of turn with him. See how I blocked it again? Now I am out of stamina. I'm out of stamina, so I'm going to move out of the way. I'm going to sidestep him, let him do his little stomp thing. This whole time I'm regaining stamina. Oh, his buddy joined the party here. Let's take a look at him, see who it is. And that is a 1-star Seeker. So right now, this is pretty intense. I'm going to pop Bone Mass so that I can fight these guys. Off. See if I can engage one at a time. Around here. Trying to finish this one guy off. There we go. Now I got a 1v1. And I'm just going to kind of kite. This is called kiting. Oh, great. They don't usually show up in groups like this. Alright. There we go. Got my parry in, and I'm going to do good damage to him because, well, I'm pretty far along in the game. There we go. My sword also does chill damage. You see I'm taking damage, but I pop my Bone Mass power, so it's considerably less damage than I would have. There's a hair. These guys are good for food. I'm not going to worry about it. Anyway, so what that fight demonstrated was several things that I was talking about earlier. For one, I was doing some jumping. The whole time I'm keeping an eye on my stamina, and as they come at me, I kind of go vertical, and I just kind of jump over them, because the thing about the bugs is it's hard for them to turn around. It's hard for them to 360 or to 180. And it's just the way that the enemy artificial intelligence works. They're not really smart. It's a game program. It's a computer program, so it's not the smartest thing in the world. So if I change direction really quickly by jumping behind them, it takes them a while to turn around, and I can whack them while they're turning around, or I can just evade them and jump over them, give myself some time, and I'm not sprinting, I'm just walking around, and that lets me recover my stamina, and recovering my stamina lets me block, it lets me parry, and it lets me attack. So one thing I tried to do in that fight when it was 2 versus 1 is I tried to isolate one enemy so that they weren't, I didn't always succeed, but I tried to isolate one enemy so that I could kill it and then take the other one on, rather than try to kill both of them all at once. The attack animations are very important. Once you learn the attack animation, blocking is just a matter, parrying is just a matter of pressing the block button. And I should say at this point that the block button is the left bumper. Watch me, watch my guy. I'm blocking right now. If I put my shield on, I'm blocking with my shield. It's kind of hard to tell because you can't. Let's see if I can get it here. There we go. No. You can't really get a good frontal view, but that's what he looks like when he's blocking. So if you just straight up block an enemy's attack, it A, consumes stamina, and it B, reduces the amount of damage you take. You can just block indefinitely until you run out of stamina, but you're running out of stamina. And blocking just blocks that one attack. The parry is a special kind of block. The parry occurs right before they complete their attack animation. And like I said, the attack animation is just kind of how it's just kind of rearing back. You know, they coil up to take a punch, or to swing a sword, or to swing a claw, and each attack animation is different. And you get to learn the attack animation, and then it's just a matter of timing. You don't want to do it too soon. You don't want to do it too late. You learn the attack animation, you do it right in the middle, you block right in the middle, and what it does is it parries it. And that means that it doesn't just block the attack, it stuns them for a couple of seconds, and when they're stunned, they take double damage from your attacks. So parrying is a very, very, very useful way to not only mitigate damage, but to deal a lot of damage to an enemy. So my bone mass is about to run out. Let's go see if we can find some more. That was a pretty intense fight. that was it's uncommon to come upon three seekers like that all at once, especially ones the the um, the enemies that have stars next to their names are kind of just higher level. They're stronger, they do more damage, they have more health. So that was a one-star seeker, a regular seeker, and a seeker soldier. The seeker soldiers are the ones that are kind of intense. All right, let me take a look. I'm looking at my mini map here. I'm running towards the ocean. We don't want to go that way, so let's go back this way. And I know it seems like you can't, that I don't know where the hell I'm going. Oh, there's another seeker. Good. That's what we're looking for. Let's kite him back to some flat ground, or as flat ground we can find. This is good. This will work. All right. I'm going to sort up. Did you see that? So he has an attack animation. I'm going to parry his attack, but I'm not going to hit back. I just want you to see me parry his attack. See how I block? Right before he makes the attack. Let's do it again. Oh, I missed it that time. Blocked it that time. Blocked it that time. And I did massive damage when I hit him. So he kind of does this thing where he kind of pulls back right before he strikes you. And right as he pulls back, when you press that block button, he attacks you, it parries his attack, and he's stunned. And while he's stunned, you can hit him for crazy damage. Now, this isn't just for the bugs that I'm fighting now. This is any enemy in the game. Any enemy in the game. And the principle is the exact same for all enemies. You just have to learn the attack animations. Everything from the little graylings that you see in the forests up to the trolls that you find, the giant house-like trolls. They all have an attack animation. They can all be parried. They can all be defeated with patience and timing. So at this point, I feel like I've kind of illustrated the basics. Let's go look at some of the enemies that you're going to fight. And if I were a professional streamer right now, I would cut. I would cut over. I'm not a professional streamer, so you're going to have to watch me jump and run all the way back. Fortunately, I've got it. I set a little. This is where I am. Set a little marker right here to know where I'm headed, and to give you an idea of how far away I am. This is my home continent. This is where I spawn in. You'll recognize the little circle over here, right? This is where my base is, right here. I'm all the way over here. And I sailed a boat. I sailed a boat to get over here. And now I'm just using portals. But it took a while. Oh, some guys I killed earlier. Those are some resources that I can use. So I'll pick those up along the way. And come back and check on my Jotun puffs. Say hello to my dwarf buddy. And go back. Find my portal. It should be right here. There he is. Alright, we only have 7 minutes. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and sleep and recover. And I'm going to put up my resources. Save these. These are just various things you use for making foods. There are certain foods that let you cast magic. So I'm saving up for some of those. And these are some special items. The carapace I use to make good armor, and also arrows and bolts and other fun stuff. Let's see. Kind of forget where I put some of the stuff. All right. Let's go take a nap. combat is one thing where, or one place where, uh, when I did my movement video, I was telling you how using the two sticks together is really advantageous in combat. Um, and I'll show you some examples of what I mean. I'm gonna go get some more food. I'm not gonna use my really good food. Well, first of all, because I'm out. This is where I keep all of my foodstuffs. These are my ingredients for making foods. Um, these are some things that I farmed. I farmed carrots, and I farmed some turnips here, onions, mushrooms, herbs, honey. I have like 10 beehives and berries. I have some, yeah, there we go. Some basic stuff that will let us, let's go engage some of the enemies that you will be fighting. Oh, this is I'm taking you on a quick tour of my fort here. This is my uh, my my chicken hatchery. I'm taking a little tour here. This is my industrial grade chicken farm where I have breeding pairs, and I can out of these guys I can get about 100 eggs in an hour, and that's a primary ingredient for one of my really high level foods. Here I have, this is where I hatch my eggs to get chicken, to make a honey glazed chicken. This is where a fire that I use to create heat, and heat warms the eggs, and that's what hatches the eggs. And I can hatch about 60 chickens at once in here, or 60 eggs at once. This is my kitchen. Got my ovens here. This is my cooking, just a cooking station for like cooking stuff over a fire. This is my cooking pot I use for cooking several of my important recipes. And this is my fermenters where I distill meads. Meads are kind of like potions. They give you special bonus powers and stuff. And these are some trophies of some things that I've killed. This guy. He's ugly looking. Alright, this is my house where I sleep. This is my portal room where all of my portals are. These are portals to various locations. And this is my forge, my workbench, my forge, my black forge. This is an eater refinery. Eater is the a food or excuse me, it's a substance that lets you craft magical armor and weapons. And this cage, I have to put this cage around it because when the eater is created, it just lands right here, and it does damage. It actually shoots out little fireworks that can damage your base. So anyway, tour is over. Let's go adventuring. So we're going to go into the Black Forest. This is all meadows biome right here. You can't really tell because I've cut down so many freaking trees, but this is going to quickly bleed into the forest. It's all going to turn into dark forest right up here, but I cut so many of the dark forest trees down that it's kind of hard to tell. We're just going to look for some gray dwarves because they're easy to kill, and you'll be seeing these guys in the forest. Oh, here are the boars. So the boars, they have an attack animation, but when the boars run at you, you just wait for them to square up on you, and you swing at them. It doesn't really take anything fancy. They're going to run straight at you. They will run straight at you, and you just turn around and face them, because they kind of turn circles. Boars kind of suck. They're annoying. They're tenacious. They'll follow you for miles, and they're easily provoked. So you haven't encountered that because I turned off aggressive enemies in your game. I haven't really seen anyone. I want to find a troll. You'll see trolls if you wander around in the dark forest enough. You'll see the trolls. They're huge. And they scared the hell out of me when I first started playing the game until I learned their attack animations, and I learned how to parry. And now not so much. This is a troll cave. I think I've already killed the troll in here. Let's go look. Yeah. Yeah, I killed him a long time ago. So eventually, we're going to run into some bad guys. They're easier to find at night. They're way more active at night. Let's see, oh, I hear one. There he is. Here come a couple guys. These Grey Dwarves or Greylings? It's a Grey Dwarf. Okay. Let's parry. So this is his attack animation. Let's look at it. So he pulls his arm back, and he just swipes it forward. And the point where he's not going to do any damage to me. I'm too high level. But the point at which we want to parry is when that arm is all the way back but has not yet come forward. Let's try it. Just like that. Block. Left. I'm using my left bumper. Block. You can hear the little, like metal on metal. You can hear that sound. I'm gonna hit him, and I can kill him with one shot. But that's how that works. Now that's parrying, and the parrying is advanced blocking. You can also just do a regular block, and the regular block doesn't require any special timing, but it does take stamina. So it's a good way if they're wailing on you, and you just need a second to regain a little bit of health, or if you're trying to move around and disengage, you can block as you go. Is that same troll cabin? I think so. Let me figure out where I'm going here. Oh, I'm way down here. A little marker on the map so I know where to go. Skeletons, I hear him moving. He's probably up top. I'm not gonna mess with him. No. See a troll. I guess they're not gonna come out. This would have been a much more exciting demonstration with there more enemies. Let's head back to base so we can find something along the way. Oops. There's always something to trip over in this game. The deer in this game are a nuisance, just like they are in real life. They're everywhere, and they make weird barking noises. Love the feather cape. Let you glide. Let you do things like this. Oh, ran out of stamina there. In the Mistlands, you can get really high up these giant craggly peaks, and then jump off and float for the length of the whole biome. It's really fun. You can just essentially fly across the length of the biome. This was months ago. I set this little repair station up here. See, I took the workbench down, but I left a bed out here. This is when I was first beginning to adventure and into the dark forest. I died several times in this area. All right. Meandering, making a long meandering way home. I will try to focus here. I don't have my good food, so it's let's see what I got here. There we go. Not the best stamina food, but pretty good health. Stamina food would have been better, but I just didn't have any stamina foods built. Oh, look at these guys. So they're throwing their rocks at me. I can also block the rocks. So let me give you an example of what I mean by maneuvering. If I sprint a little bit, I can get a little bit of separation, then I stop sprinting to recover my stamina. But I'm going to maneuver these guys so that they're all kind of bunched up together, and then I'm going to hit them with a bunch of them with one attack. So watch this. Oh. See that? How they kind of got bunched up? I killed two with one attack. That's an example of maneuvering in combat to give yourself an advantage. These guys aren't much of a challenge. Let's look for something a little more difficult. I used to have a troll that spawned in right over here, but I think I've killed him.